Hey guys, welcome back. Another day, another video. Uh, we're gonna finish. We're gonna hopefully work on this house here. I'm gonna need a lot more wood. Got some fish cooking in here. Yep. So, what happened last time? We were talking about moving out my new place. Um, but I think this time I'm gonna yap about uh what it's like being alone, 'cause it's a very unique like circumstance for me. I'm gonna go to sleep here. As soon as that sun dips down below the horizon. Might make a farm too. Getting distracted already. But it's very interesting because I'm alone in this little rental apartment of mine that I've just started. If you didn't see the previous Yap video. I'm alone in this apartment of mine. But I'm not alone socially. I still have a lot of contact with people. I'm talking to my family. I saw them today. Didn't see my girlfriend, but I've been talking to her all day. And it's been really nice. And that's always good. Social interaction is good. My friend came over, showed him my apartment. We, I was moving some more things over from my parents' house. It's one of the nice things about where I live is like, I'm less than half an hour from my parents' place. So that makes it very easy to go meet up with people and all that kind of thing. But it's a very interesting thing being alone like this because like like the effects of it is that now I spend so much time talking to myself. Like just doing anything. I'm just talking to myself. So an example of this is I discovered that I had an ice maker in my fridge freezer dualtage type thing. Um, and so I saw this and I was like, oh, I should see if I want it to make ice. So I set the arm to on so that it would make ice. And after like half an hour, I was getting kind of worried because it wasn't doing the thing. It wasn't making any ice. And so I couldn't see under it, but I removed the tray and I was like, okay, well, let's see. And so I reached my hand under there and I felt it and I was trying to see if I could feel any ice in there. Didn't feel any ice. I didn't know that there was a heating element. And there was a heating element under there, and I'm assuming the purpose of that is to um just heat the ice just a little bit, just to cause just enough melting that it falls out of the tray or out of the like the bracket or whatever that the tray that forms the ice. Um, that's my guess. I'm not sure. I don't care enough to look it up. Someone fact checked for me. But I burned my hand because I touched the heating element, and I was like, "Ow, that's hot. I need to run this under some cold water." Just, it wasn't a bad burn, but I didn't want it to be like tingly or hurting or anything like that. So I just as a precaution, right? And I have a boat at the house. Um, but I'm like saying all this stuff out loud, and I was like, "Oh, I left the dryer in the laundry closet. I left that light on. I gotta go turn that off." And I said that to myself, and I walked around. And where's my boat at? Do I not have a boat? I could have sworn I made one. I'm stupid. Uh, but it's so interesting. And apparently, again, I didn't look this up. Apparently, it's like a whole thing that uh, if you're aware of like the idea of white room torture, it was a torture method back in the day, and actually they still use it now, where instead of they will give you 3 square meals a day, or you have all the materials you need with you. You'll have plenty of food, plenty of water, a bed, a toilet, all the stuff that you need. but everything in there is white. Your clothes are white, the walls are white, there's constant fluorescent light. Your food is just nutritional mush that's white. Obviously, the water is clear, but apart from your skin and like the water and stuff, and your like hair and things, that's the only like color in the room. And they'll just lock you in there. You have no concept of the passage of time. You have no like clocks or nothing. There's no light cycle. It's just those lights, white fluorescent lights are on 24/7. And you're just there. And they did a bunch of experiments on with this stuff with people back in the day, like in the night in like the late I want to say in like the 60s and 70s and stuff. Probably around the Cold War period. Again, I don't know. Didn't look it up. Someone's going to tell me what actually happened. But they did a bunch of experiments and stuff, and it turns out that the people who were talking to themselves showed a higher IQ and were generally smarter, and they stayed mentally sound on average. Obviously, there's like variances and controls and outliers and things like that, but they were talking to themselves, and it was hearing that sound coming from like the outside as well as the inside of their head, and it was activating different parts of their brain instead of the rest of it going dormant, and it was still exercising it as they were thinking about talking. It was just a different part of them, and it kept them, mentally together. Even if they were tired or bored or angry or whatever, they weren't losing it. So talking to yourself is actually a sign of intelligence and mental soundness put together. So rough to start it of um it does help that I'm, seeing people all the time and stuff. I was with people all day. Or, I like my friend came over and we were hanging out and talking about cars, and we're big car guys, so um I've talked about that on the channel before. But we were just hanging out, talking about life, chewing the fat as you will. And after he left, I just went right back to talking to myself as I did. I've basically just kind of like defaulted into narrating. It's pretty interesting. I'm sure there's like a ton of psychology studies and papers and journals written on all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. Um, it's also cool. I'm starting to get into psychology at my work. Um, I work in cybersecurity. I'm a cybersecurity analyst. Uh, for a corporate parent company, unnamed, for their protection as well as mine. I'm probably not going to say anything off color, but I'm keeping my work and personal life private, so that's a thing. And you guys aren't that privileged because I don't know you, and it's also public information now, so. I mean, if you know what my name is, you could probably find it, but. Whatever. Anyway, um, I work in cybersecurity, and part of my job is to deal with security awareness training. So in my company, we do phishing campaigns. I want more saplings to fall. We do phishing campaigns to test our users and to train them on how to spot phishing and scam emails and junk and stuff. And we have been doing this training for as long as I've been at this company. And we do quite a bit of it. Up until recently, we've done quarterly phishing awareness training. Um, each one has like 2 rounds, so if you fail round 1, you go on to round 2. You get tested again. And it's a whole thing. I won't bore you guys with the details of that process. I think that's enough saplings. We'll put the rest in the chest. um, but one of the things that I pitched to the not my manager, but the manager above him, we have like weekly check-ins and stuff, and it's cool. Very good communication and stuff in this company. Um, I pitched the idea that we have talked about this stuff ad nauseum. People are getting bored of the typical, hey, there's an external banner here. It's a big red banner that says don't like this or messages from outside of your organization. we've talked about, spelling errors and like tones with urgency and weird file types, yada yada yada, usual weird domains that don't suspect, that kind of thing. And our users are getting fatigued of that. We had a user in one of our live training sessions. We had a user tell us that they completely ignored that external banner because they dealt with external emails so often. They worked with developers, like software developers, from outside the company, and they would routinely communicate with these developers, and all of their communication would have, warning, this is an external notification from outside your company. And it doesn't go away even if you have a trusted sender or whatever. Mostly to help protect against things like business email compromise. A quick explanation of that is when an actual business or company gets breached and attackers gain access and use their legitimate email communications to send scams or solicitation to other companies. So they'll use that legitimate access to target other companies. Looks really real. And if they're really a high value threat, they will actually study past communication within that organization to see what their kind of, like what their language is, how they talk, to really make it extra convincing. And so we keep that external banner there for that reason. Light up the area here. Cut down on some spawns. And so I've been trying to come up with ways to not only, in addition to the more technical lower level aspect of it, of like, there's a misspelling, here's a weird sender domain, yada yada yada. I want to target it from a more prescriptive level of, why are we innately trusting this email? What is it saying, and who are we talking to? Like, what is our indication that this email is legitimate? What is the purpose here? And so what we're going to do is we're going to send out surveys, actually, to our users that fail these phishing campaigns and really get their feedback on our training and what's going on. That's at least the start of it. I think I want to make this taller. I'm going to make this another level. So that's kind of what I'm working on. So it's very interesting into the psychology of why these people are clicking. I mean, it's easy because I've been in this for a while now, working for very long in field, but I've been studying cybersecurity throughout high school entirely. So that kind of thing is just, I can spot a phishing email really quickly relative to most people. And they're getting stronger with AI and stuff like that. There's less mistakes. They're more convincing. I mean, pictures in them don't look as good because AI generated pictures are always bad. For the most part anyway. They're getting better like everything else. But you get the idea. Let's put a massive window right here. I want to see my crops. Yeah, look at that. That's a great view at that mountain. We'll do another smaller one here. That was 4. We'll do a 6 one here. And we'll probably do... There's not really much out here. I'm not going to do one here. Is it any better if I look from over here? No. I think I might just leave this as blank wall space and fill it up later. might put 2 more over here. It needs more. Make more panes. What was I talking about? I was talking about fishing stuff. But yeah, and you know, kind of to further reinforce the whole psychological gap here, is our users are doing pretty well. In our live training sessions, they are getting really good at spotting, like, we'll ask them, we'll pick on someone, or we'll pick on them. We will ask for a volunteer to kind of take their guess as to why a given email is phishing. I think I want spruce wood for the roof here. Yeah, I'm gonna go up here to the snow biome. It's kind of a ways away, but we'll work on it. And I might do spruce for the flooring too. That would look really good. But we'll ask the user, like, hey, what's wrong with this email? We'll pull up a sample one that we've created. And they'll do really good at getting the stuff right. Like, these users have been trained. I mean, at least in the year that I've been there, they've done a lot of phishing training. So it's a good sign. But in practice, they seem to be getting a little lax in it just because of that fatigue that I was talking about. And here's further proof of that. In our last round of phishing campaigns, we were talking about, we had a few templates that we had made. So, like, we have a few different templates that you could possibly get out of all the users in the company. And one that we've been really harping on, one kind of topic, it was a attack that we'd seen a lot of recently. The users on that particular template, they didn't hardly click on that. We only had like in the tens of it's a very large company. Over about 4,000 employees. Not very large. Moderate sized company. We only had like maybe 10 or so people click on and transfer phishing test. Good after our last round of training. I actually want some of these saplings to get bigger spruce trees. They did very good. And we had a little bit more for some other different kinds of templates. I'm actually going to turn down the Minecraft sounds a little bit. There we go. Hopefully the audio was terrible the whole time. But we had slightly increased clicks on the other templates. But nothing too crazy. It was more than we would have liked. But the one template out of the 1 out of 4 templates that got tons of people, it wasn't a lot. It was higher than we wanted, but it wasn't like a terrible thing. Oh no. That's a cool way to get out of powdered snow. They had it was a remote work policy changes template. So the email said, to view remote work policy upcoming changes, please view this document. That one got a disproportionate amount of clicks. Everybody, the reason is, I think remote work policy is important to everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. If you can't work from home, you want to know if you can work from home. If you already do work from home, you want to make sure that you can still work from home. So that kind of thing was very important. And the attractiveness of that topic totally bypassed everyone's guard that we had built up. They weren't suspicious at all. Well, relatively speaking. Still, it was a lot of people, but it wasn't like earth-shattering. So what I want to do is I want to target the psychology behind that. Why why are we clicking on it? Why are we trusting it in the first place? Because the signs were there. And like we saw in the training sessions, they are decent. They are pretty good at spotting these emails when it's at the forefront of their mind. That is the load bearing phrase, when it's at the forefront of their mind. Because the remote work policy totally bypassed all of that, and they were like, oh shoot, I gotta look at my remote work policy, see if I can work from home, or if I can keep working from home. And they just, yeah, let's look at that, and they clicked on it. So, like I said, we've hammered home the topics enough. We got to change the mindset of these people. So, that is what I'm going to be working on over the next couple weeks. We've got some training sessions coming up. We're probably going to try and send out the survey later. See what's going on there. But well, hopefully by the time the next quarter's training comes around, we're not doing our quarterly training. We're doing biannually this time. Mostly due to that user fatigue issue. I think we were getting a lot of complaints about having training, fishing training every quarter, which is justified, I feel. It's a lot of training. And this particular uh, demographic of people that we usually have in the organization, they're not huge on another PowerPoint to take up their day. I mean, who is? But these people, it's even more so true for these people. So that's just kind of where we're at. And it's interesting getting into the psychology and seeing like what people typically do in that kind of situation. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of what I do, what I'm working on now. A little peek, just a little peek, not much. You don't get much. I'm gonna make pretty much all this into bread. I'm a hungry little Minecraft Steve. There we go. This will feed us for sure until this farm grows up. But yeah, I need to make a new axe. Got a bunch of logs now, so that's good. I'm actually gonna invest in an iron one. It's that time. I can make iron tools now. Haven't really gone mining. Let's see if we can get some of this roof on real quick. I'm gonna make like half of this into. I'm gonna need more stairs than that. Let's see if we can just do the floor for now. I might need more logs, in which case I'll have to wait for the tree to grow. Time to do some flooring. House racing is honest work, but it's a good day's work. I'm gonna go sleep. I don't want mobs to spawn around here. But yeah, anyway, to circle back to the topic, I noticed that I was talking about the alone topic of the video. Kind of branched off from that. Went on a little psychology tangent. It's cool stuff. It's interesting. But yeah, I've been talking to myself a lot, and it's kind of peaceful. It's like Zen. It's like white noise almost. It just keeps me grounded and stuff. And I think that's what. Honestly, that might be part of what is driving me to make more videos again. I'm seeing this, and it's just like, yeah, I just wanna talk. Just to keep talking, you know. It kind of fills the gap. And this is actually interesting because it's like I'm talking to you guys in a very roundabout, indirect way. I'm out of wood. I'm gonna go chop down another spruce tree before the video is over. I should build a bridge to the spruce forest. Well, I guess it won't matter. Once that big tree grows up. I hope it does. It should grow like that, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I don't know how often I'm gonna upload these. Right now I've got a little bit of time. I'm technically, this is the last weekend of spring break. The second weekend of spring break, so school starts back up tomorrow. One while I'm working, I'm studying cybersecurity. That's my degree. Yeah, it's very tedious. There's a lot of crap that I feel like I don't need, which is kind of a shame. College is supposed to be learn a bunch of stuff, but that could also be a product. I've had colleges that I know personally, and it's given me a serious leg up in that kind of endeavor, in both my school and my work. They've been very happy with me. That's a good thing. Hopefully they'll keep me around for a little while. I've built some tools using... Oh no. Oh, ouch. My boss was like, hey, you could do this. You can build out this data tool. And I was like, sure, I can do that. I had no idea how to do that. I learned how. And that's kind of what it... If you look at cybersecurity, if you're thinking you want to do it, it takes a lot of learning. Because the whole game moves so fast. If you don't know how to do something, you have to be able to pivot and learn how to do it. Because someone else can. It's incredibly competitive. Another important thing is, and that's actually kind of a paradox to me, you have to know how to use AI and you craft adequate prompts. Because the AI's response, the model's response, is only as good as the prompt you give it. And if your prompt sucks, your response is not going to be optimal. At times, one of the bigger issues that I found early on with AI is that it seemed like it had no spine. If I asked it a question, it would just lean towards one side or the other, until I discovered that it sees what biases you have based on the language that you're using, and it kind of follows where you lead it, which is why it seems so spineless. Like if you go, hey, what's this answer to X issue? And it'll give you Y solution. And you say, well, what about Z? I think Z is better for this reason. It'll go, actually, you're right. Z is better. And if you go, well, hold on, Y is better. If you think about it this way, it'll go, yeah, Y is better. And it just flip-flops back and forth. That is really a subject of poor prompting. A good prompt doesn't lead it one way or the other and asks a balanced question. And to an extent, you can also just tell AI to, like, hey, no, no, that's so sad. 2 frickin' planks short. I'm gonna grow more spruce trees. Hopefully I can. Very curious to see if this actual spruce tree is growing. So, if you're using AI, learn how to craft your prompts. Age 0. Just grow 1 there and 1 there. But we'll give that some time. Hopefully those trees will grow. I don't have any bones. I haven't killed any skeletons. I think next time is going to be a mining episode. But anyway, learn how to craft prompts. Learn how to use AI. They tell you in school, don't use AI, it's plagiarism. Yada yada yada. But especially in like cyber and tech related stuff, if you don't know how to use AI, you're going to fall behind. Your value doesn't come from knowing like where or like how to do certain things. It's, can you build a tool that can do this to automate this process? Because efficiency is king. And that's what the name of the game is going to be. But you know what? I think that'll do it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed these little yaps of mine. I'm going to go out to Photography Island. Oh, holy. That tree freaking grew already. Awesome. Take our little screeny. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you next time. Don't know how long it's going to be. But I'll see you then. Bye.